we know that small businesses especially are very, very busy, but also resources very limited. So that's why this program has been implemented to kind of say, we're here to offer that free guidance, that free support. But it's basically just recognizing for businesses that you are doing an amazing job, because a lot of the time as a small business, you're so consumed with like all different things, you're wearing different hats constantly, that having that reflection piece almost to say, these are all the things you're achieving, you're doing really well. Here's recognition for that, I think can sometimes mean a lot.
Hi and welcome to Business Rainbows and Unicorns, where there's no such thing as failure if you don't try. This podcast is specifically for business owners or wannabe business owners. Say you've got a side hustle or you've got a passion for something and you think it'd be absolutely amazing, or you see people that do amazing things with their passions and what they enjoy doing. Well, you can do that. So please subscribe and we hope you enjoy listening to this episode. So, hi and welcome to Breakout Business Rainbows and Unicorns, where there's no such thing as failure if you don't try. So today we've got a very special and different guest, Laura Graham-Clarke, who do you actually work for? That sounds really bad.
Everyone says this. Everyone assumes it's the council. So
I've gone through all I was like, right, let refresh my memory. So Laura contacted us a while ago.
Yeah, I did.
What we're going to talk about as an approach Breakout. So I know exactly all about that. And then I just thought, well, is it Let's Go or
Let's Set UK?
Yes.
Something along the lines, you were close.
So you work so tell us what do you do? What's your role?
Yeah, so I work for Let's Say UK, and we have been funded by Suffolk County Council in relation to a programme called Good Health at Work, which has been designed for local businesses helping with workplace wellbeing, and I'm an employee consultant on that programme.
Amazing. So you get to talk to people like me?
I do indeed.
And what's the aim? What's the goal for it?
There's two things I always like to say. I hope I am correct in this, but this is sort of my way of thinking and my approach. The first thing is recognition for me in terms of businesses. So getting that recognition for local businesses that they're prioritizing or focusing on their workplace wellbeing for themselves if they're a solopreneur, but also for staff if they have staff. But then also supporting with any additional gaps within their business that they might need related to workplace wellbeing, and receiving an award at the end of it.
Amazing. So what does it cover? Because obviously well-being is quite a trendy word at the moment.
Definitely, yeah.
And unfortunately, employees also, we all have to work, whereas it's a bit different if you're the actual business owner, because your way of working is a bit different. But also the fact that we work 24/7 if it's our own business. So
exactly.
What do you cover? Is it for the employees or is it for it? How does it work?
It's kind of for everyone, really. So let's say, okay, I'll take your business. I'll give it like a prime example. So remind me again, how many staff members in total?
There's two of us. So it's me and Nika.
Fab. So there's two people. So in relation to that, I would speak to you about what you and your colleague have in place for yourselves related to your own well-being. We've got 6 standards that we've created that we believe make workplace wellbeing, things related to the culture that you created and the network you created to support yourselves, financial wellbeing, which a lot of people don't consider as well in terms of making sure you guys are well protected in terms of looking after your business and your brand, social responsibility, environmental stuff, and then the typical stuff related to physical and, of course, mental health as well. So we've kind of broken it down into a range of standards where you kind of take your time, work through it, take these goals to achieve, and then you receive either a bronze, silver, or gold award, depending on how many standards you want to complete.
Amazing. So what's the award? Like, is it that you get the awards and then you use it as a stamp everywhere? Or
yeah, absolutely. So you receive a certificate and then also a badge to go on your email signature as well. So it can also be used in terms for your own promotion as well. So if you wanted to look to expand or grow, but just letting, I guess, your own audiences or, your consumers that you are, in fact, prioritizing workplace wellbeing for yourselves, really.
And this is, I have to stress, because I've gone through the website and stuff. It's the Good Health at Work website, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I've gone through that, and it's just to stress, it's a nice to have, isn't it? It's not like the health and safety man coming round and going, right,
this, you haven't got that, you need to buy this, you need to buy that.
No, absolutely not. No, we always said as well, we don't want it to be sort of pressured for businesses in terms of joining or even getting that support from us. We kind of just want them to know it's free, it's optional. And if they, we know that small businesses especially are very, very busy, but also resources very limited. So that's why this program has been implemented to kind of say, we're here to offer that free guidance, that free support. Again, if you need a support with, say, funding, for example, because we do have charities we work with, our job is to maybe find organizations that can support with grants or local funding for that business and just provide that kind of an everyday support that we know local businesses just don't have the time to kind of do for themselves.
Yeah. And it's that whole, I think, support being the operative word, isn't it? Because it's that thing of, I think when people think that these things come along, so many businesses either don't sign up or completely miss it because they just assume, it's going to take me a lot of work. I don't see the benefit. They just don't get the why.
Yeah.
And from my understanding, as a small business owner with no time, it is that if you're trying to attract employees or just to showcase, look, we do look after ourselves. Is that, have I got understanding right?
Yeah, no, precisely that. I mean, our first standard we've got is culture, communication, and engagement, which is the mandatory one that businesses complete to achieve bronze. But it's basically just recognizing for businesses that you are doing an amazing job, because a lot of the time as a small business, you're so consumed with like all different things, you're wearing different hats constantly, that having that reflection piece almost to say, these are all the things you're achieving, you're doing really well. Here's recognition for that, I think, can sometimes mean a lot.
Yeah, and I'm guessing it's the fact we're doing it anyway, isn't it? It's stuff we're already doing. You're not going to do something. This isn't, when I looked at it before, it's not stuff that you're like, oh gosh, I'm going to have to spend. It's not a time thing, because I think we haven't got any time. And I think my first question to you was like, how much time?
How long does it take? No, but again, it's so hard as well to say, because there's no time constraints, which I think is the benefit, because we've got businesses of all shapes and sizes. And I'll be honest, I've got some businesses where once a month they're happy to have a quick catch up. They're quite happy to crack on, get on with the goals and just send me evidence and I take it off and it's all great. But then I also have some businesses where they kind of want, oh, can you have a look at this for me? Can you check out this for me? I need a bit more help here. I just don't have time to look at that. Could you do that for me? And then when we have a catch up, I can kind of send them the details, and they're quite grateful for almost having like somebody else to kind of take that pressure off a little bit and sort of help them out. So yeah.
Yeah, and I guess it's a really big tick, isn't it, for employees? Because obviously, had the new employment legislation come on, where employees get what they get all their rights from day one. So I think all business owners are going to be more worried about taking people on. But actually, this is the reassurance of, do you know what, this is, especially, I think the key word was culture there. So the way what a business is like. Because I've always said, when I've employed people or interviewed people, and likewise, if I've gone for interviews, the interview's both ways. You need to know that you match that culture, because you do.
Absolutely.
And you walk in somewhere, you get that feeling, don't you?
100%. I mean, so I used to be a recruiter of health and social care a few years ago. And for me, I used to mentally, I always used to say to people, I know that you're applying for the job like this, but you need to make sure that we're right for you as well, because you might leave the room and think, oh, actually, it doesn't fit, it's not the right vibe, I'm not feeling it. It's like you said, it's definitely that sort of two-way street. But from jump, I guess for me, my key thing is I've also been unhappy at work before. I do not want anybody to feel like that. I don't want anyone to feel miserable about getting up to go to work. So if I can do anything in my power to even just review what's currently in the organization and say, you're doing this already, but this is what I think maybe you could tweak, or actually, what are your staff saying? Okay, does that cost? How can we revisit this so it doesn't cost you that much?
Yeah.
That's what I'm here for.
And have you seen any common trends across businesses, or is there's
one area that businesses, especially in Suffolk, I've noticed, they all want to improve their environmental stuff and sustainability. That's the one key thing I think that people is trying to focus on and work on, I feel like.
Well, I think sustainability is just a funny thing, because I was looking at that the other day for our business, and I'm like, we don't use anything. We literally sit there with laptops in a room.
Right. Right, no, exactly. So you do think, especially because I've got, again, some remote companies I'm working with, which, again, they work from home. So it's kind of like, apart from turning off lights and making sure the switches are off and, not driving where you don't need to and all the rest of it, what else can you really do for your business? So even for me, it's a learning in terms of reviewing that, thinking outside the box of them and seeing what can essentially be done in that way. So
Yeah, definitely. And has there been any, apart from sustainability, but are there any key areas where people have asked certain questions or almost not understand it as well?
Yeah, I think what's been really interesting is that when we're looking at the goals and the standards that we've created, is tailoring it to fit a solopreneur. Actually, that's been quite a common trend in terms of how do they reflect the goals so it fits as a solo person and not for employees. Because essentially, we think of well-being, you always think employee, 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 whereas you yourself, as your own business owner, you're your own employee. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So trying to tailor that has been a really good learning for me in terms of actually what do you put in place for your own well-being? How do you prioritize that? Okay, you don't have a calendar where you've actually taken regular breaks, you're actually focused on downtime. Let's implement that. Let's put some stuff in.
Take a what? I don't know that word.
Yeah, downtime, essentially, all those like little things, because like I said, solo business owners, instantly it's about obviously wanting to grow your business and wanting to work on it constantly. So I guess my job as well was kind of like reflecting that and trying to have that balance. It's like, for example, there's one business owner I'm working with recently, who's just started on his own, and I gave him the goal that the next networking event he goes to, if they don't have a business card, you need to find another way to contact that person to get that business, because he was a bit unsure. So it's just little things like that in terms of like, what can we do? What can we think about in terms of like thinking outside the box, and just taking those goals into little steps as well.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's really important because we see it all the time on so my social media obviously talks about social media, but also business owners as well. And it will say that you need a break, so you need to come away from the business to be creative and to have ideas again. And we always find it, and we always keep going and going and going and going. Think we've got to get everything done. I had a holiday a couple of weeks ago. I had a holiday. I come back and I'm like, oh, all these ideas, and like my brain's working again. And you forget mental well-being. That when people say like mental health or mental well-being, you think of depression, you think of anxiety, you think of all that. Actually, it's just sometimes just being too busy and taking a break.
And just taking that time out, like you say, because if your mind is really busy, especially like you say for someone like yourself who's so creative, you kind of have that block almost of like not seeing your thoughts or your ideas, and then as soon as you pause, they will just come flooding through. So
yeah, 100%. Have you seen any, or what are the benefits you've seen from businesses doing the awards?
So far, so the ones that have achieved bronze, in terms of that, there's a few. A few of them have said they're able to recognize their own achievements, because sometimes they think, as a business owner, I haven't done enough. Like, they're doing this is almost giving them that push and that confidence to say, I've actually done quite a bit. Wow, it didn't feel that way.
Massively. So when you first start out, I saw a reel on this the other day, and it was when you first start out, you're like, oh my word, I landed my first client. Oh my word, I've sent my first invoice. And you just congratulate yourself on everything. 3 years down the line, you're like, I've not done this, I've not done that, I've not done, and it's crazy how different it is.
Completely. So to have that reflection, a lot of them have actually said they're so grateful to kind of take a step back and say, actually, this is how far I've come from where I started, or, I'm actually doing okay, you're doing really well. But then also another positive is also to stretch them a little bit as well. So any areas where they're already doing something, I sometimes, depending on the business, I might say, well, have you looked at that further? Is there something else we can implement in that particular area? And they go, actually, yeah, let's think about that. Let's see what else we can do for that. So
yeah. Have you had anyone join up with like a certain goal, or just like, right, this is what we want to do, this is where we want to?
Yeah, one business actually, in terms of the goal, because they recently joined the business, is just wanting to improve the working culture, and to basically do like a complete 360. I mean, before they really joined the program, they were doing amazing already in terms of 3 weeks, wanted to change this and implement this and just just get the staff being happy again. But
Oh,
they've already
yeah.
said joining the program, they're able to really hit the ground running with that and bring them along the journey alongside this program. And also in addition, so any business that joins the program, and we are offering them an opportunity to do the mental health first aid course as well. So
Okay.
a lot of the businesses had, put their members of staff on there or themselves to actually do the course, because we put it on them and put them on the course for 2 days for free, so they could be a
Oh,
mental health
wow.
first aider. So
And what does that include? What does
yeah, so I actually did the mental
I'm
first aid.
I'm used to having the dummies and trying to make them breathe.
Yeah. So mental health first aid is interesting. So it's 2 days of just basically like learning about the signs related to the different areas related to mental health, and then being sort of that first point of contact, similar to physical first aid, but that
Yeah.
mental first aid, if someone's having like an anxiety attack, panic attack, maybe has disclosed maybe signs of like depression, or wanted to disclose information related to mental health, and then you're that first point of contact in terms of sorting it out in that moment, and then signposting accordingly to the correct professionals as well.
Yeah. Oh, amazing.
Yeah,
Oh,
so it was pretty cool actually. I was quite impressed. So
yeah. And I think it's lovely, the business you were talking about before then, because we went off on a whole mental first
yes,
aid
yeah.
tangent. But in terms of turning the culture around, because have you seen some of the memes where it's like, oh, staff unhappy, it's Pizza Friday? Or...
Do you know what? I think that we used to be like one of the first jobs I had in Debenhams, when Debenhams was around.
Yeah.
That used to really annoy me. That whole, Pizza Friday. Oh, okay. Instead of, giving me some more money, or actually give me some time off. No, you don't do any of that. Or even just listening to me. You want to
Yeah.
just be.
Just a bit of respect would be nice.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that don't cost you anything either. You save your money on your pizzas. Yeah.
Just listening will do. Let me go home on time. That also will do. But yeah. So it used to really annoy me with the whole. Oh yeah, let's pay for this. You think, oh, who asked for this? I could buy my own pizza. Thanks, very much.
Yes. But to be fair, to then see that in another business and see them actually wanting to put the time and effort in as well, that must be so rewarding for them and for you to just see that shift and difference. Because I think that's the biggest thing, isn't it? Is when I think of work well-being, it's more staff morale and that they're being looked after, and actually, like say, you enjoy your job, you spend more time with work colleagues than you do with family. So it's so important that you just have to go in and enjoy it. And whilst as a I mean, is that difficult? Because as a business owner, that's really hard, because I deal with more than what Nisha does in terms of the actual day-to-day business.
Yeah.
So is that easy to split out when you're doing it, in terms of like, because if we've got solar entrepreneurs, to having an employee or a member team?
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, we deal usually with the business owner in general. But what the key thing is we're trying to do is, although we're dealing with the business owner, we want them to bring their staff along that journey anyway. So a lot of the chances, again, the organized, the employer will know their staff a lot more anyway. So it's about me saying to them, well, they know you're doing this program, so what have you actually asked them about what they want to be implemented? And again, if they don't, like, let's say it's a small business, they might not benefit from doing a staff survey because there's like 4 people. You could just literally ask him. So again, it's like having that conversation, have a meeting, maybe do like an activity a day out, create that sort of, drop that sort of barrier in a way to create that comfortability. What can you do to create a comfortable space so your staff feel comfortable to share, actually, wouldn't mind if this would be implemented, wouldn't mind if that would be. And then they share that with me so I can say, right, cool, let's start with goal 1. What can we do?
Yeah, that's amazing. Because I just think it's a thing of, I think when a business gets so big, it's really, really difficult. But while you are smaller and there's things you can, I guess it's quicker to implement, isn't it, if you're smaller, to just like,
Definitely. Definitely. And it has been really nice as well, just meeting local businesses like the smaller ones. I mean, we've got some bigger organizations as well on the program, which is quite nice. But again, like you said, with the smaller businesses, it's just easier just to create a better culture, or just people just being a little bit more happier at work, a lot quicker, because there's not really a lot of steps to go through.
Yeah, way. Oh, well, it sounds like I think we're just gonna, well, what we might do, if it's all right with you, if Breakout signs up to it, because one of the reasons we were closing our actual physical office on the high
Yeah,
street.
I saw, yeah, on your Facebook,
So
yeah.
we were going through so much change at the
Of
time when we
course.
first got in contact over email. And to be honest with you, we got to the point, and it's a classic example of we saw so many people every single day. We'd finish at 5 o'clock and we got nothing. So Nisha and I weren't really talking to each other because we just didn't get a chance because people were in and out all day. I'd get home and just be like, no, I've not got time for any of the family.
Yeah, yeah, no, I hear it. I hear it.
Socialed out, and we were really like, yeah, we're
Exhausted.
much, yeah, completely.
Exhausted, yeah.
Social battery was through the floor. So
Yeah.
we'll almost put some of those steps in place. I think what we'll do then, if we get Breakout to sign up,
Yeah,
and then we
absolutely.
can almost document and do a bit of a sort of do this again in so many weeks, months, depending on this. What is is there a time scale? How does that work?
No, again, we're completely led by the business. So whenever you want to start, whenever you want to finish, we're completely led by the business. So it's entirely up to you when you want to start. And again, how quickly you would like to get through those goals. We're completely led by you. No pressure at all.
So I think what we'll do then, if we sign up, and then we can like document and do another catch up like this.
Yeah.
And then we talk about Breakout, how we found it, and then how you've worked with us. I think that'd be really, well, would it be really helpful? Me going, yeah, do that.
No. Is that what? So, do you know what? I actually think so, because I think, like I say, especially for you guys, I can already tell already, like, even though typical, you get tired, things happen, I can already tell that you actually just enjoy what you do. And that's kind of, it'd be really useful as well for local businesses to kind of see that and feel that. So that way they could go, actually, maybe this might be beneficial for me because, you know, at the end of the day, you just, like you say, you spend more time at work. So we might as well be happy there.
Yeah, definitely. And this is, so you cover Suffolk. So it's Suffolk County Council Initiative. So you're covering the whole of Suffolk.
Yes.
And then is it all like this? Is it all over online, or do you visit?
Yeah, so it varies. Most of the businesses are usually just remote just because it is really easy for them. But some of them are really keen on face-to-face. So we also sometimes will meet like in coffee shops, for example, if they have their own office, I can sometimes go there, no problem at all. And just also as well, in the next few months, hopefully we're looking to also put on our own networking events. So our awards ambassador, Kate, like basically looks at the evidence, says, yeah, here's your award. She's going to be creating an ambassador network, really, so businesses can get together and share their own experiences, support one another as well, and just, again, continue to create that collaborative piece and that created work together. So, yeah, that's also something that's going to be launching in the next few months as well.
Amazing. I think it'll be really interesting as well with the employment law changes and everything as well.
Yes, I went into that in Jim's Farm last year. They had the employment law kind of conversation pre-chat almost of like, these are things that might be implemented, and everyone was very, very nervous. So to know that obviously now it's come through, it's kind of like, you know, it's a bit worrying.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Oh, I think that would be awesome then. So we'll get Breakout to sign up, and then what we'll do is we'll follow the journey a bit. And yeah, networking sounds absolutely fab. Would that be, do you know where that would be? Would that be?
So we want it to kind of be like maybe one in like East Suffolk, one in like Mid Suffolk, just in different locations, different areas.
Oh, brilliant. What we'll do then, we'll then document the journey in a little while, and we'll just keep everyone. Is there a end for this project? Like, is this just now it's ongoing, or?
Well, we've been funded for 2 years. There was a conversation about potentially extending. So yeah, we've got 2 years to, I guess, make as much of an impact to Suffolk as possible and see what we can do.
So what we'll do, we'll put all your contact details in the show notes as well. So it's basically just any business in Suffolk, so any size. Is there anyone?
Any size, any type.
As long as they're within Suffolk, it doesn't need to be Baber or Mid or West. It's just in the county.
No, anywhere in Suffolk. If they also trade outside, so for example, they might have like different locations in like Essex or Norfolk, for example. As long as they do trade in Suffolk, then they're eligible for the program.
Okay, we'll put your details in the show notes, and we'll get everyone in touch. And then, what we'll do, we'll sign up, and then we'll document and jump on another episode and see how we get on. Hopefully, you pass, can get an award.
Yeah,
Brilliant. If not,
Oh, you definitely will.
I've set myself up now.
I was going to say now, the thing is, now I know you now I'm going to see what I can implement straight for you both.
So, well, it's been lovely to meet you, Laura. Thanks
Oh,
so much for
fab.
coming on. And yeah,
Thank
we'll
you.
update again soon.
Definitely. Thank you so much.
All right, take care.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to this episode. We really hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please share with a friend who you think needs a bit of help with starting a business or even their small business, which they've already got going. Please like and subscribe to our podcast, which always helps a small business or small podcast like us. And check the show notes. We all have everything in there relating to the episode, which you might need, might want to read, and links to anyone we've interviewed and certain subjects we've spoken about. And thanks for listening.